All right, here you go, Brandon. I'm bringing you on. I'm bringing Brandon on. Here we go. Michael, I need you here to clean up the yard and stuff on Friday. Let's see, Stacy Smith. Boom, he's here. What's up,
Hold on,
Brando?
Jay.
Guys, this guy, dude, I wouldn't be doing what I've ever done in real estate if it wasn't for you. This is like exciting. Like, I interview a lot of people. I interview agents, big agents, little agents, whatever. Doesn't matter, any agent. But none of them, nobody else that I will ever interview impacted me and changed my life like you did, dude.
Dude, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jay. You know what? Just being able to get on here and talk with our EXP agents just made my night tonight. You know, just getting a call from you today. And, you know, this company has meant so much to me, Jay. You know, just, gosh, you know, where has time gone? It's been like 13 months since we started this. And just the amazing amount of growth that's happened in such a small amount of time. And, you know, it's kind of like people seeing the vision. People seeing what they had in the past, they don't really have anything as far as their other companies. And they say, you know what, I can have agent ownership. And huge.
Well, I'm having to turn over. I'm Facebook living from a Facebook Live. So I had to turn the camera around for everybody on the Jashley page. Let me turn the volume up just real quick. Don't go anywhere.
Sure.
Okay, good deal. All right, so let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go back in time. So you've been in this business for how many years, Brandon?
You know, Jay, I started real estate in 1995, and I'll never forget it. I mean, pretty much what got me into real estate, Jay, I was working on a master's in psychology, and I'll never forget it. I was working at Vanderbilt at the Children's Psychiatric Hospital. And, you know, just working on that master's degree. And, you know, I had a newborn, and, you know, I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, you know, I've just got to get through this, and, you know, I can start my career. And,
hey, Brandon, is there a chance that mic is not picking up as well?
you know what? I am on a tripod. Let me pull it as close in as possible, Jay. How's that?
Brother.
Let me pull it in as close as possible.
Are you not going through that microphone beside you, or are you talking into the camera, the phone?
No, I'm talking into the camera.
Okay, yeah, I need you to be as loud as you possibly can, because the audio is a little bit muffled.
I'll tell you what. Let me shut this door.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. No, that's my studio,
Jay. Baby, it's wall.
I'm working on some good stuff, Jay. You've never seen my studio, have you?
No,
You've never seen it, have you?
Show us. You want to turn the camera around and show us the studio?
Dude, when you do things online, you've got to be able to do it right.
Woo!
And you've got to have, whenever you're doing audio, you've got to have the right stuff. You've got to have the little spit thing there. You've got to have lights, guys. And of course, you know, this is part of what we do at my other company, but at the same time, though, Intervision Media Group. But at the same time, though, Jay, going back to it, just to kind of give you guys and I'm getting my phone as close as possible. Is that better? Jay, is that
man,
better?
Your audio's, but just let's roll with it.
Brother, that's good.
Roll with it. Just go ahead. Go back to the beginning. So what are you doing for a living when you got into real estate? I'm going to kind of lead in the questions. So
sure. Whenever I got into real estate, I was working basically in mental health. I was working with DHS and DYD kids, which was a whole experience in itself because those were gang members. And basically that was back when the mayor was saying there is no gangs in Nashville. And I'm sitting there looking at gangbangers every day. So I knew there was gangs in Nashville. So pretty much what happened was this was back during the days of TennCare, because a lot of people don't realize this, but Obamacare was actually test marketed in Tennessee under TennCare. And we were the test market for it. But in any case, what happened, Jay? I was at a, came into the hospital that day. They called about 30 of us into the room, and they said, we hate to tell you this, but the beds are down, and so we're going to have to lay you off. And I was like, wow, wow. Here I am working on this master's, and I was holding down Tuesday, and I was sitting there, I was thinking, what am I going to do? So I go into my house, and Lisa's like, what are you doing home? And I said, I think I just got laid off. And I had this $500.
Hey, the old, what are you doing home when you're
Oh,
supposed
dude,
to be at your job? That's a
oh my gosh. I had like a $450 severance check. And I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I think I want to go into real estate. And she didn't feel really safe and secure.
They fired you in one day? How many people did they fire that day?
About 30 of us. They asked me back after about 2 weeks, and I was like, no, I'm going to do real estate. And I'll never forget it, Jay. I went in, and basically my first 6 months, and I want to say this, Jay, because I really believe in, some of our new agents, they're sitting there really struggling right now, and they're thinking, am I going to be able to make it? And what I want to encourage you guys is one of the things that EXP, just the genius of the whole setup is that they understand the mentorship program. Because I'll never forget, I started out, I went and hugged my license at Cry-Like at 913 Conference Drive in Goodlettsville. And my first 6 months, nobody would help me. I couldn't get a mentor. I had no money, Jay. And it was a really bad situation. And, I would ask people, they were going through sweat hogs and stuff like that, different types of training. And I was like, hey, what did, is there anything, and, that, I just asked for, little nuggets, and they were like, go take the course. I didn't have any money to take the course. And so, that's why I always had a heart for that, whenever somebody, got into a little pickle or needed help. But I love that EXP. Pretty much what happened, Jay, my first 6 months, I sold one house. I knew I wasn't going to make it. And by the grace of God, Syntex Homes I was able to convince Syntex Homes to allow me to come in and work. And that's really what changed my life, Jay, because I had a great mentor. His name was Steve Gillum. And Steve taught me how to sell homes in a new home situation, because, a lot of people don't realize that I was very lucky to get that job, because a lot of times new home sales agents make awesome general brokerage agents. But general brokerage agents as a whole don't understand the retail part of new home sales. And they'll leave their models and so forth. And it's always been kind of a bittersweet thing with builders and general brokerage agents. But, the ones that I know that's come out of new homes have done very, very well. So pretty much
Brandon,
came in.
Brandon, let me lead you into some questions, okay?
Let's do it.
Questions, I want to make sure that there's certain things I have questions of. And so let me kind of track back. So you lose your job, you get fired. You're forced into going, I'm going to go be a realtor.
Oh, yeah.
This is how many years ago?
Gosh, that was in 1995. And, Jay, pretty much, got in with Syntex. Within a year, I was their salesperson of the year, sold in Fieldstone back when that was going on. I also sold in Cannonwood, which if you guys are out of state, I had a lot of neighborhoods and did really well at new home sales and really excelled at it. But one of the things that I've always enjoyed is I like being around disruptors in businesses. And one of the things that was a new mentor, I had Steve Gillum, which was at Syntex. My second mentor was a man named Mac Kelton. And Mac owned the largest ERA franchise in the state of Tennessee. And he came to me and asked me if I would start up a new company, and it was a total disruptor. And it was called Home at the Mall back in 1997. And pretty much what we did, Jay, is we put kiosks over in Cool Springs Mall, in Hickory Hollow Mall, when it was a mall, uh, Harding Mall. And our whole deal was people were not coming basically to look at houses. They were coming in and all of a sudden they were seeing houses and we were making appointments and we were selling. And so that's really what got me
Selling.
going.
So Brandon,
Yeah.
so what you're doing is you were selling houses in a kiosk in the middle of the Antioch Mall.
Yeah. Yeah, sure did, man.
Hey,
That's
let me ask you something real quick.
That's a disruptor, man.
I know, a disruptor. I remember you placing the ads in the magazines and stuff, doing that. Now let me say something. You, in your career, 24 years in the business, you worked for Syntex Homes. Name all the brokerages before you came to the freaking rock star brokerage at EXP, which is all about agent ownership. Name all the brokerages that you worked at along with Syntex Homes that you were with before coming to EXP.
I managed DRA Pacesetter here in Brentwood, Tennessee. Managed about 70, sometimes about 80 agents there. Got my broker's license within a little bit over 2 years after I got into real estate. I recognized that to do what I wanted to do as far as managing companies, I had to get that broker's license, and it was just a natural thing. And so pretty much, got to RE/MAX. I decided to start up teams, Jay, and went to Canada, learned, with Craig Proctor's, basically was mentored by them. Guys, if you're not being mentored by people, you're really missing out on something. I mean, sit there and start looking, because success leaves clues, guys. Start looking at who you can learn things off of. So basically came to RE/MAX. Rob Campbell came to me, who I love Rob Campbell. Rob Campbell came to me and, he said, you know what? He said, I'm thinking about starting a RE/MAX in Cool Springs. Well, me and another agent named Mark Lonsway, who is still a RE/MAX agent, awesome agent. We were at the time
great agent.
Great agent. Well, we were looking at setting up a RE/MAX, and we wanted to get to Cool Springs, but he couldn't agree with me, because the one thing that Mark didn't like was that I believed in retail space, and I wanted to have something near a Kroger. I mean, I wanted an office right there next to Kroger, because I didn't believe in having them in office buildings and things like that. That's another disruptive technology thing, Jay. But we never did agree on that. But anyway, RE/MAX, started up RE/MAX. We had kept about 70 to 80 agents there. Did that for about 10 years, 11 years. Went over to Keller Williams, started that up, or actually didn't start that up, brokered that here in Williamson County. And, I started seeing a little bit of what profit share was, just starting to learn what that model was. I'd actually seen EXPJ in 2010, and I wasn't ready for it.
Wow.
Because I got to see EXP World and things like that. And a broker named Pat Thornton brought it to me, and I passed on it. And that was 8 years ago. And, I wish I would have known then what I know now. And so, pretty much that was my story, Jay. One of the cool things is, guys, and I always love this story because, again, it goes back to mentors. Just because, you're younger than somebody doesn't mean that you can't mentor an older person, or, likewise.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, but
so,
always be looking.
Brandon, let me ask you a couple questions. So when I came into your office, I'll never forget it. I want to tell that story. I walk into Brandon's office. There's awards all over the walls. I'm looking at this guy. I had interviewed with every brokerage in town. I'm not going to name their names, but all the owners. I went in. I sat down with them, a lot of big players in town. And I remember coming into Brandon, and I'm telling you, and I really do mean this, the reason that I came to RE/MAX was because I really felt like you were genuinely wanting to help me.
Yeah.
I said, you know what, this guy, there were bigger agents, there were bigger,
Mhm.
you know, whatever, but I really knew you were like, I'm going to serve and help this freaking waiter, this little punk kid. I'm going to teach you everything I know. Bro, do you
I
realize
loved it.
most people, dude, this is what gets me rolling. I will teach every freaking agent, and Brandon Patrick will teach every agent everywhere in every state across the world, every dadgum trick of the trade, everything we know about real estate.
I
And
love
I
it.
do believe that's what you did for me. And
Hmm.
now I want to repay agents and pay that forward to other agents because, dude, you changed my life, dude.
Hmm.
I mean, I was a wannabe country music singer,
And you're a good
and you
singer,
changed my
Jay.
life. So, so Brandon, so now you've built all these other companies, you did your own thing, you owned an EXp Realty, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Where are you now with what's going on with EXP? And I want you to talk about the mentor program at EXP. I
Mhm.
want you to talk about the training at EXP. I want you
Mhm.
to talk about the camaraderie and the agent ownership where we all own the brokerage. Talk about
Oh, I love
where
it.
we're at with EXP right
Oh, I love it, man. I love this. Thank you so much for giving me a platform on this because, you know, one of the things, Jay, I believe in, like I was talking about, was the mentorship in our company. And, you know, a lot of people, that's the big fallacy that they have out there. If you're at another company, maybe Keller Williams, maybe you're at Remax, and all of a sudden now people are really starting to take notice at EXP Realty because we're really, really turning some big numbers right now. And what they're saying out there is they're like, you know what? If you go there, all you're going to be doing is looking at a screen for training, or you'll never talk to anybody. And I'm going to tell you, Jay, one of the things that I say that that's a myth is because I have so
now? Totally.
much, just so much, just camaraderie and collaboration and just being able to hang out with people. I've never had that at any other company like I've got at EXP. You know, we have, you know, Thursday, you know, get-togethers at Bricktops. We've got things going at
Yeah.
Jonathan's. Every Wednesday, we're so consistent, guys. And so if you're looking for a family and you want the best of both worlds, I
It's
really
a
believe
family.
we've got
It's
it.
a family.
And now let's go into training. You know, one of the things that, you know, people say is, well, you know, you're going to be trained, you know, online. Well, that's not true because if you're a brand new
Not true.
agent, guy, here's the deal. When you first come to EXP, it's a requirement. You've got to do 5 deals under a mentor. And that's huge.
Yep.
And you want to do that because what that's doing is that's getting you off on a good foot. You know, one of the things that I always knew, Jay, was that, you know, if an agent came to me and they were brand new, a lot of people don't realize this. And this is the reason why, guys, that real estate schools stay in business in the good times and the bad times is because 80% of those agents, if you have 100 agents, 80 are going to be gone the first year, if not sooner. Now, you know what? That's 20 agents that make it, Jay. Now, to make it to the 5-year mark, 80% fall out on that. So at the 5-year mark, there's 4 agents that's going to make it.
Yep.
And that's the national average.
Hey,
And
Brandon, never mind.
yes,
No, just keep going. I just have
okay.
questions.
So here's what I love about it because we recognize that we don't want you to be a statistic. We want you to be able to stay in real estate and to be able to earn for your family and be able to get out for maybe, you know, if you're in a different job or, you know, you're not happy in the company that you're at now. We want, whether you're in the mentorship program or, you know, maybe you have one of the things that I watch that I love in this company is I watch a lot of the agents. I've watched Katina Carney, you know, take on agents. I've watched Stacy
Oh
take
yeah.
on agents. You know, I've watched, you know, a lot of different people, Bradshaw Beer taking on agents, you know, several different, you know, seasoned agents in our company. If you want to learn, we're going to teach you. You know, it's this company, I have never seen it to where it doesn't matter where you fit in the ladder. You can go talk to the head, to the biggest person in the company, and you know, they treat you good. You know, they're not treating you like, you know, they're a prima donna. And, you know, if I want to, I know I can go to Jay Nelson or I can go to Donna Tisdale or I can go to Cindy Jasper. we've got so many huge agents. I mean, I could go on and on as far as, different people, but that's what we have here, guys. So it's so much bigger than just thinking that you're out on an island all by your own, because you're not.
Brandon, we talk about agent ownership and we preach it. I mean, you call it what you want. Some people, you know what, when you're making the waves, do you realize we're growing some of the other competitors, that the largest real estate company in the United States, we're growing right now 40 times faster than that company ever grew at a peak. The speed of what's happening is crazy. Brandon, we put in as a nationwide brokerage, able to build teams all over the nation. See, I tell people all the time, why are you thinking just local when you have a global brokerage? It's just, It makes no sense. It's just small thinking. And, it's like, I mean, the technology. We have technology. We got people watching us in California right now, and soon to be all over the world. Talk about the nationwide presence of what we're doing and how we're collaborating and sending deals to other agents across the nation. And hey, you know what? I just sent a deal and sent a referral out of state. Talk about the nationwide difference between EXP and the other brokerages. And I want you to talk about where we're going in the future with the global.
Yeah, I love that, Jay. Thank you so much. One of the things that I didn't realize when I first came in, because when I first came into this company, guys, I didn't care what my split was. I didn't even know what EXP was. And I know a lot of us started out that way. All I knew is the man on the other side of this, on this webinar, he was there, and I wanted to be there too, because I know that I'm dealing with success if I'm dealing with Jay Nelson. So that was the reason why I came to the company. Well, I started getting in with Rob Flick. I started learning, and I was able to get people, and I'm glad that you told me California, because Jay, I have a team in California. I have a team in New Hampshire. I have a team in Florida. I'm getting paid on these deals in Utah. And, I've got Texas. I've got, of course, Tennessee. I've got Kentucky. And, Jay, when Rob and you sat down with me and said, would you own a brokerage? Would you sacrifice $16,000 to have a brokerage in any state that you wanted in the United States, which at the time we were only at about 42. Now we're at 49, guys, and we will have the 50th. And we're in 3 provinces now. At the time we were in 2. We're going global, guys. So, I don't want you thinking, a lot of times people, when they start up real estate companies, they're thinking, you know what, maybe I can put an office here and then I'll go 30 miles down the road and put a satellite office there. And guys, that's thinking so local, and you can never make money that way. And, one of the things a lot of people that they don't understand is the high cost of having an office. Jay, a lot of companies, when you're bricks and mortar.
Me and you both owned, we both owned brokerages. We owned our own real estate.
Oh, if you sit there and you think you're going to go out and buy them. Oh yeah. If you sit there and you think that you're going to go out and buy a company or start up a franchise, first of all, guys, I'm going to tell you something. And they won't tell you this, but less than 4% of companies out there are making margins. And that was even in the 90s, guys, in the 2000s. That's the reason why you've got broker owners that's your competition. It's because the splits got different. Once Remax and Realty Executives sat there, and they were disruptors too at their time. But when they brought in that 100% split, all of a sudden these other brokers were having to sit there up their splits. Then they had no margin, Jay. So, if you think you're going to go out and do that, that's ridiculous, because bricks and mortar, there's companies out there paying 30, 40, 50,000 a month for their bricks and mortar, for their broker, for their office manager, for, their copying machine, things like that. Well, you know what we have here, a lot of people say, well, we don't have an office, and that's such a fallacy. We got a great office.
It's crazy.
guys, go canoeing, go kick the soccer ball around. We've got such an interactive office. I've never seen an office where I can go in there and have 150 people in a sales meeting. And I mean, that's just never, I've seen that before in my life. But I'm going to tell you, as far as where we're going, guys, like I said, I've all of a sudden now I don't have any skin in the game outside of Jay going and finding people in other states. Now, I'm going to tell you something, but if you guys were in real estate back in 2008, you're going to remember what happened, because a lot of us got crushed.
Exactly.
And oh, it wasn't fun. If you were in real estate back there, it wasn't fun. But as far as things go now, we've got a ton of cranes on the ground right now all through Nashville. I was going out this past weekend saying, wow, what kind of it's just amazing what's going up here. But if all of a sudden the real estate market crashes in Nashville, well, you know what? I'm diversified now. I have a real estate company in Los Angeles. Yeah, I mean, I've got a real estate company down in Florida, in Fort Myers. I've got a real estate company now, up in New Hampshire. And so all of a sudden now I'm diversified. I'm not just relying local, guys. I'm all over the United States now. And, I've got the opportunity, it's crazy, Jay. I've got a 72, it was actually 73 today, as far as in my team. And so I have the opportunity, guys, to be compensated on 73 agents right now on their what they sell, which is crazy. And you know what? I will have mine like Jay Nelson. I will. Jay's been very good at what he does. He's very diligent at it. But I'm going to tell you guys, it's a game changer. I mean, it pays, it consistently has paid for the past few months our bills. And, everything else that we do, my wife has a wonderful job. As far as real estate, selling houses, that's all gravy now. So, it's just, one of the things I did, I went out there, I found somebody that had a like belief. And, I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick. This is awesome. The other day, I was talking to Jay about how to sit there and recruit, because, I was banging my head up against the wall with some of these big agents. And, I've done real well as far as getting principal brokers into our company. But I was sitting there, I said, Jay, I said, what do I need to do? Jay said, you know what? He said, you're not
ask for their
sitting
permission.
there doing it right. Yeah, you told me, you said you're not doing it right. You said all you need to do is say, you know what? If I send you a 20-minute video, will you watch it? And I would, you know what? I wanted to be coachable so bad because I know that Jay's been where I want to go. So I said,
hey,
yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
So, I think that it bottoms down to, like I said, when you ask for someone's permission to show them why we believe in EXP and why we believe in agent ownership, hey, man, if I sent you some information, would you be willing to take a look at it? And I say that, you know what? A lot of people they're so closed-minded, they won't look. You know what? If you're taking your business seriously, even if you don't want to, hey, I get it. People are like, hey, things are good. I'm selling a lot of real estate where we're at. But you know what? You got to know your competition, right? It's not smart to not look. You need to know. I want you to talk about this, Brandon, real quick for me. So I personally believe that EXP's closest parallel as far as a phenomenon is Uber. And here's the reason why. Let me talk about this, and I want you to tell me what your thoughts are. So a lot of brokerages as they sit now are either independently owned by one or a small group of people, right?
Right.
Or they're a franchise model, correct? Okay. So that's really everybody else. Okay. Now, the fact that Uber came in and offered, so the way I look at it is there's all these people and they're out just driving yellow cabs, right? They're driving yellow cabs. Well, the drivers are driving vehicles that are owned by those groups.
Yeah.
And then Uber comes in and says, hey, guess what, cab driver? We're going to let you come over here on the ownership side, make more money by driving your own vehicle. And it's only taken that company, Brandon, It's only taken that company 8 years. The first ride was 8 years ago. So when you see
Crazy.
EXP doing what it's doing, where will EXP, or if we're on that trajectory to just go global like Uber did, because we're doing the same thing. We're giving agents saying, hey, you know, cab driver, get out of your car and create your own business with your car. We're saying the same to agents. Hey, get out of that brokerage, come to EXP, own the brokerage. So if they did that in almost 7.5, 8 years at Uber, here we are at massive expansion. Do you realize the number 9 agent in all of the United States, Tom Daves, just came on to EXP last week? Number 9 out of every broker in California, he just bolts and says, I'm coming to EXP. So how fast?
Dude, I'm going to tell you something. I want to be on the ride, Jay. I mean, I don't want to be in. I want to be on the ride. I don't want to be on the stands watching the ride. I don't want to be on the stands watching the roller coaster going up the hill. And I'm over there on the sideline saying, yeah, that's really cool, you know, but, you know, I'm not on the roller coaster. So guys, you know, what I'm saying is you've got to get involved in this. I mean, you know, when I saw it, you know, I sat there, I looked at it, Jay, and I said, you know what? So it's agent owned through stock, which we just got on the NASDAQ, guys. I mean, the stock is selling around $13 a share, you know, right in there. When I first got in, and guys, this was only 13 months ago, the stock was selling it at 285. And so, you know, think about that. What kind of growth? That stock has gone up over 400% since we've been with the company. Now, I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not going to give stock tips, but I can tell you this. I signed up so I could have him be able to buy at a discount through the company, because I can take 5% of my commission and buy stock at a 20% discount. I mean, you know, it's one of the awesome things I've ever seen. And, you know, the cool thing is, Jay, you know, I looked at, you know, my equity shares the other day, and it's close to 800 shares that they gave me.
You're earning stock. You're earning stock.
Yeah, that they gave me, Jay. And you know, the crazy thing is
crazy.
You know, all I did was what I used to do for Remax and ERA and Keller Williams, but now I'm getting paid on it.
Hey, oh, dude, sorry, no, this just jumped in my head.
Yeah.
Brandon Patrick.
Yeah.
This jumped in my head, dude. I'm excited to say this. Anybody that catches this, that stayed around for this, and you're on this, this is like literally a light bulb just went off in my head. Where would Brandon Patrick be? Now you were, hold on a second. You were at ERA with 80 agents. Yep. You didn't own the brokerage. Nope. You were with Remax with 60 agents. You didn't own the brokerage.
Nope.
You were at whatever
I was the broker, though. That was a really cool thing, Jay.
I didn't own the brokerage. You started an exit realty that you did own, and you lost money. Where would Brandon
do you realize the stupidest things I do? I opened that up in 2010, and that was stupid. But where would I be, Jay? I would be probably I would be selling tickets to my cruise ship that you guys could come on. It would be that nuts, guys. I would make more money if I would have had revenue share off of every agent that I brought in. You know, I built it. Well, you know what? I built it by going out and getting great agents like Jay Nelson, like Mark Lonsway, like John Pegram, you know, just a plethora of great agents. You know, I'm starting to see some of them coming over to EXP, and I love it. But, you know, if I would have I've recruited hundreds of agents into these franchise companies. If I would have had that, Jay, Jay, you know, I know that we've got some outrageous numbers right now that people are clocking, and, you know, they're making, you know, 6 figures a month, you know, right now. Several people are doing that, guys. I would be making probably well over.
Don't even say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Just say a lot.
I'd be making some crazy amounts of money, guys. I would be paid better than pro football players. I mean, right now, if I would
Listen,
have made that.
Brandon, okay. It is phenomenal because I also love this, okay? I also love this. When we bring someone to the agent ownership, we have to like give them the same opportunity that we have. Like we
What
don't
the
get a
hell's that
better
about,
opportunity
man?
than the brand new agent. You know what, Brandon? I'm closed out this 13 months at 28.7 million in real estate. You know, I have two great assistants and I have work ethic that's crazy. But here's the deal. When I'm sitting down, I have a new agent coming on board, James Fierez. He's awesome. He's a killer, dude. I honestly, Brandon, I mean this. When you said when I walked into your office at Remax and you met me, you were like, this guy's gonna kill it. I met this kid, and I'm telling you, he's not a kid. I just call him a kid because I'm old. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's got that natural ability. And I love it because I'm sitting across from a guy that's just getting started. He's never sold any homes yet. And I'm offering him the same opportunity that you and I have. That doesn't happen. And I love it. I love it.
Oh,
It's
no,
honest.
it doesn't
it's
happen.
Transparent. Doesn't
Dude,
happen.
it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because I know this. I mean, when we bring in somebody, typically it was a hush-hush deal behind the door. I know that every agent right now is making an 80-20 or a 70-30. And here's what we're going to do, Jay. We're going to give you, Jay, a 95.5. Oh, you don't like a 95.5? Well, what if we give you a 99.1? We just need your sales volume, to attract agents. Is that good? Well, you know what? In this program, guys, it doesn't matter if you just started out. When I first got into real estate, I started out on a 50-50. And, things have changed since then. But you know what?
Yep.
The new agent gets the same deal that the $28 million agent gets. And there's no company around that
But
does
they get ownership brokerage. That's the other thing. I mean, a split's a split. But to be able to walk into this deal and own part of the brokerage, if you're willing to work your butt off, that's the thing.
What?
Look, I was on a 98.2 split at Remax, Brandon. I was on a 98.2 split at Remax, but I didn't own the Remax. And I'm not. And I was referring agents to Remax. Come to Remax. It makes no sense. Sorry, I'm gonna get fired up.
And guys, I'm going to get fired up right now because I'm going to tell you something. Let's get into our Icon program, Jay, because a lot of people don't understand that, you know what, at EXP, you make more than 100%, guys, because of your ability to have stock in this company, your ability to, once you sit there and you sell, give 16,000 back to the company as your split. You do 20 more deals, guys, 20 more deals. That's all you got to do. You get your 16,000 back in stock. And you know what? That stock is worth a hell of a lot more than just $16,000. And guys, I mean, it's phenomenal. The way that
if you're a producing agent, you will be over 100% at this company.
And then some.
From an ownership standpoint. If you're a top producing agent, you will never make less than 100%. I mean, you'll be over 100% because of what you pick up on the brokerage side of the table. Period. Non-negotiable. I know I'm right on that one.
And you know what? I'll tell you something.
But some people don't even look at it. They don't understand it.
Well,
drives me nuts.
Here's the problem, Jay. They'll sit there and they say, well, you know what? I like my broker. I like my broker. Well, you know what? Everybody likes their broker, quote unquote, until their plan changes, or they're kicked out of their favorite office and now they've got to go to a bullpen desk. There's all types of different reasons why people leave their companies. But I'm going to tell you, as far as agent ownership, you're never going to get the deal because of transparency. You know what, Jay? I've never been with a real estate brokerage that showed their core values. I'm sitting here thinking about Remax. The ones that I've been at, we never had, integrity. Well, it's not that we didn't have integrity. It's that we didn't state our core values. We didn't state
Yeah, but
our
it
core
wasn't set
values
up in
of
the core values.
transparency, integrity,
We had a
fun,
great company.
community. You know, those things in itself, I never remember being really pushed. At EXP, guys, that's what we're about. We're about transparency. I've never seen more honest to goodness people that will just be real with you, even down to sitting there listening to Glenn Sanford, all the way up to listening to him.
Brandon, real
People are
quick.
real here, guys. And, you know, that's the thing
Brandon,
I love. Yeah.
I was just talking about the transparency. My thing is we're publicly traded, so our books are analyzed and audited by the NASDAQ, okay? Here's my thing. If you're going to call us an owner, if you're going to call every agent an owner, then open the books, right?
That's right.
And that's what I like, because you're talking about transparency. Well, transparency on your splits, one thing. Transparency on how is the brokerage, what's coming in, what am I getting back as an owner, is transparency. And that's that is one of our core values. And I know you were talking about, we're not saying that nobody else has great, look, there's a lot of great companies, a lot of great real. We're not saying
there's
that.
tons of great companies out there. There's tons of great companies out there, guys. And, you know, the wording that I meant on that was that I've never seen them more emphasized than at this company.
Yeah.
It's because every week I'm hearing about our core values, and I know that they mean them. Yes, other companies have great core values too. But, you know, we're sitting there every week, we go over our core values. And, you know, how do we measure up, guys? And, you know, the thing that I also found, because one of the things I've done is I've been able to move principal broker owners out of companies over the past year. And we had a really huge agent here. And this woman, she was really concerned, guys. And, you know, she was sitting there, she was worried that her broker, you know, number one, that they weren't going to give her things. I mean, you know, just, you know, things like that. And, you know, what was going to happen, you know, would people sit there and continue, would they move with this agent? And, you know, Jay Nelson sat there and told her, he said, you know what, when I came over here, I took everything, you know, that I had there. And, you know, nobody sat there, because they buy you guys. They don't buy the name brand of the company. They buy you. And,
the
you know,
client,
Jay Nelson,
you know what, let me talk about that. Your brand, Brandon, your brand is you. Nobody cares. You know, it's not about EXP. I mean, EXP, SMEXP. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are the brand. Wherever you look, if you're adding value, I love my clients. I love them. They're my friends. I told that to a client today. I said, I love just serving you and being a part of your life. I told that seriously. I told that to a client today. And you know what? They don't care what brokerage you're at. They care about how much you care about them.
That's right.
How much are you adding value to your clientele? They could care less what name is on the sign, as long as you're the brand and you're the one servicing them. They don't care what brokerage.
You know what?
You're the brand.
The thing was, that woman was so worried about, when she came to EXP, every builder, because that's what Jay said, you're the brand. It's not that, you know, one of the things that I did for years under different brokerages, I was taught myself that, you know, the brand is the company's logo. And, you know, I sat there and I told agents for years that, because I believed into the, you know, I believed into the Kool-Aid too. I drank it. And, you know, one of the things that I saw is that that's not really the case. And it's not the company brand, guys, it's you. So
you're
that's
the brand.
really, you know, you're totally the brand. And I'm going to tell you, I have never, gosh, in 24 years, Jay, right at a quarter of a century, I've never enjoyed a company more than I've enjoyed this company. And I say that from the bottom of my heart. And I want to share something that happened today, guys. This was really good, because I was going into it a little while ago. Jay sat there a few days ago, told me, he said, you know what? He said, just say, if I send you a short 20-minute video, will you watch it? if I, will you? So I wanted to be coachable. And I said, you know what? I'll do it, Jay, because evidently what I'm doing right now, I've been making calls and it's not working. So I did it. And, you know, the funny thing was I got in touch with this girl. Well, what happened was their national recruiter sent me an email. I sat there and looked at it. I said, okay, who's in Tennessee for this company? And I found this girl. I called her and went to her voicemail. She called me back. And I went into it just the way Jay said. And about an hour later, I hadn't even sent her the video because Jay told me, he said, you know what, don't ever send videos in the middle of the afternoon. Send them at night. So pretty much what happened, guys, before I could even send her the video, oh yeah, she had already gone on to EXP stuff, looked at it, and hit join.exp Realty and put me as the sponsor. I had not even asked her to join at that point. I was wanting to send her a video. She got so doggone excited about it that she went and looked at videos herself before I could send it to her and put me as her sponsor.
Hey, Brandon, can I say this to everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Look, I tell people point blank, go spend 20 hours on YouTube and go spend 20 hours Googling this freaking amazing company. If you want to know about us, there's nothing but freaking gas and heat, baby. Oh. Go look at what the New York Stock, I mean, not New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ saying about our potential of our stock. I mean, and I don't, it's potential. It could, you know what? Hey, it peaked, it went down a little bit, it comes back up, it's stock. But the bottom line is we're the Uber, we're the Netflix. And I'm just excited, Brandon, about what's going on. And I'm excited about all agents being treated equally. I'm excited about all of us being able to sell and collaborate and help us all become better realtors, because we're helping agents all over the nation become better realtors. And, you know, and being able to collaborate and do that and pass it and pay it forward. You know, and Brandon, I want to thank you. I know I'm going to let you wrap it up here in just a second.
Sure.
But I just, like I said, I want to say this. I was a waiter at a restaurant. I walked in, and I'm going to tell you right now, Brandon, you are the biggest influence in my life in real estate. You made a little waiter changed my life. And I think that this video is to pay it forward. Let's see who else we can help, Brandon. It's time to go change the world together. And I thank God that you're a part of this with me, because we started together and we're going to freaking finish together, baby. So I'm going to let you close it out, and we're going to tell everybody bye. And we got all kinds of stuff going on this weekend at the farm here. We got all the agents coming to our house. Agents are coming to our house. We're going to have 60, 70 agents.
Y'all don't miss that.
I've got 1 million. Listen to this, Brandon. Listen to this. Yeah. Tim Hollenden, who was a RE/MAX Diamond, when you're a RE/MAX Diamond, you make $1 million a year in commissions. He'll be sleeping in the guest bedroom. He's bringing his whole team down from Louisville, Kentucky, and he's going to be training our agents.
Oh, wow.
Let me just say this. You tell me, you guys, any realtor out there, you tell me where's the best place to be this weekend learning. How about this farm?
Dude, that is crazy.
I got a guy that makes $1 million a year, a diamond at RE/MAX, teaching agents everything he freaking knows about real estate.
He's going to be at your house, Jay. He's going to be at your house this Saturday.
He's staying down in the basement, which is nice. It's not like I'm not putting him in an ugly basement. It's nice. He's staying in the basement, and
your basement's the Taj Mahal, Jay.
It's cool, man.
Guys, that isn't a normal basement. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm excited, Jay, because you know what? I had no idea Tim was coming. When I'm sitting there and I look at pretty much every week, I see a new huge player coming to EXP. And, you know, one of the things that I hit on before we started, Jay, I hit on that success leaves clues. And when I'm sitting there seeing, you know, the people like Mr. Davis come in from California, you know, all of a sudden now Tim from RE/MAX. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? These people aren't stupid. Okay. These people understand. And you know what I love? Trying to give back, a retirement to their team, ability to most of these agents, they don't have that. And I just love that. I can't wait to meet this guy. And guys, let me finish this out. Jay, I want to tell you something, guys. If we have Stacy Onan coming in, she is the senior vice president of brokerage services here for the United States. And Stacy's going to be in town tomorrow, which is Wednesday. We're going to be having 3 meetings tomorrow, guys. We're really going to go all out. We're going to start out at 11 o'clock at Jonathan's in Cool Springs. And I don't know if you guys saw that big repeating banner that I bought the other day, but I'm going to bring that, guys. And if you want to get your picture in front of it, I've got a red carpet and I've got it looking right, guys. And so I'm going to bring that. That number one. Number two,
tell them where all we're going to be tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, Jonathan's Cool Springs, 11 o'clock.
We're going to be in 3 places. We're going to be in 3. Let me go ahead and say it because my audio is a little bit better because I'm videoing you.
Okay, go ahead.
We're going to be in 3 places tomorrow and now. Okay, 11 a.m. in Franklin, Cool Springs area at Jonathan's Grill. We have a private room. Brandon, the man, the myth, and the legend that's on the screen there, is going to be doing the presentation for EXP. Then after that, Stacy Onan, the director of brokerage operations for the whole United States, will be doing a State of the Union, kind of an update on the growth and the gains of EXP and what all's going on. That's going to be at 11. So that's 11 o'clock in Cool Springs. Then we're going to do the same thing, a presentation. Stacy's going to talk at 2:30 tomorrow in Mount Juliet at a Jonathan's in Mount Juliet. And then we're doing a third one, and I'll be doing the presentation tomorrow at Jonathan's in Mount Juliet. And then we're doing a third presentation at 6 p.m. tomorrow night at Green Hills Jonathan's. And we got the celebrity, 9 million people watching it a week, Paige Turner, who actually owned her own brokerage, okay? And she's all over reality TV. She was on the Today Show twice this year. Paige is she's at EXP, guys. Follow the clues. Paige is going to be doing the presentation tomorrow night at John's at 6 p.m. Y'all be there. So wrap it up, Brandon, for us.
Guys, I'm going to tell you something. You need to be there tomorrow. Guys, all of a sudden, also Saturday, man, I'll tell you what, being able to go hang out at Jay's Retreat up in Jolton, guys, that's a treat in itself. And just being able to be around just some amazing, successful agents. And just being able to see everybody in fellowship. Guys, you want to be there. You don't want to sit there and say, you know what, I want to watch the baseball game or things like that. No, guys, this is going to make you money. You need to be at this. We're going to go over some great stuff. And I'm just going to tell you flat out, guys, I appreciate you being with us. And, if you're not with us and maybe somebody sit there and ask you to be on this webinar, I want to ask you to get back with them and say, you know what, is there another video that I can see? Is there, how do I join? How do I, get to one of these meetings at Jonathan's? Yeah, guys, because, and I'm going to encourage you, look for mentors in your life. And, that's the thing I love, again, going back to it, is being able to be at a company that has these types of core values. And so, look, Jay, tomorrow, again, 3 meetings tomorrow. Then Saturday, we've got Jay's Retreat up in Jolton. You guys have to be there. Jay, thank you so much for having me on tonight.
I love you, man.
I love you too. And you know what? I'll never forget. You coming in my office. You're, like I said, you're a young man, had just gotten real estate. Jay was doing about $1.5 million maybe. And, but the thing I loved about Jay, and what I believe about this, about you guys too, if you want it, Jay wanted it. Jay, you know what? He was sitting there. I had no idea he was a competitive athlete. I sat there and said, Jay, if I show you these things, will you implement it? Just like Jay did with me on those videos. You know, if I will you, if you will watch, you know, if I give it to you, will you? You know what? Jay took everything that I did, blew it so much bigger than I had out of the water. And, you know, I had a team of 5 buyers agents. Jay had a team of 5 buyers agents, but Jay is on, like, you know, if you've got a volume of 10, Jay's on 20. So again, you know, that's what I loved about Jay. Jay went from 1 year from $1.5 million to about, no, in 2 years to about 40 million. And this can happen for you too, guys. And you know what, Jay, you know, I appreciate your leadership here in Tennessee. It's been huge. And, you know, just watching how we're growing this, you know, Stacy's coming down tomorrow because you know what, she's wanting to see what we're doing. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to meet this lady.
Put it up, baby.
Dude, and you know what? It's not me and you, Jay. You know, yeah, we've sat there and we've done this, but you know what? People are helping us. You know, it's not all about Jay and Brandon.
Pay it forward.
You know what? Well, it's not, because you know what? You know, it's about teaching people to do things. And all of a sudden, you know, you get a team of like what Jay's got, close to 400 agents. But, you know, it's not, you know, our efforts. It's not all our efforts. We did the effort of getting them in. The effort then was duplicated. And again, it's all about duplication, guys. So, Jay, thank you so much. What's that, Jay?
Brandon.
Dude, I love you. I really do.
You got to sell houses, baby. And we want to help our agents sell more houses.
Let's do it, brother.
I love you, man.
I love you too, man. You be good.
See you tomorrow, baby.
See you tomorrow. Number one.
And if you guys want to watch this, go back to the beginning. I know it's long-winded, but you might want to watch this whole story if you're just coming in on the end. Love you, Brandon. See you tomorrow.
Love you too, Jay. Y'all be good, man. Bye-bye.
Woo!